U.S. President Barack Obama is delaying the withdrawal of American troops from Afghanistan. He says U.S. troops will remain in Afghanistan until at least 2017. The Pentagon plans to keep more than 5,000 soldiers on duty to fight terrorism and train the Afghan military. CCTV's Jessica Stone is live for us at the White House, where President Obama made that announcement earlier on Thursday. Jessica.
And Asiya, there's certainly been quite a bit of tweaking on troop strength for this American war. But Obama last spring said that he would draw down U.S. troops all the way to just an embassy protection force by the end of 2016. Well, now that has been changed again. He expects now to leave U.S. troops in Afghanistan through the end of his presidency.
2 days after the Taliban pulled out of Kunduz in northern Afghanistan, U.S. President Barack Obama says he'll leave U.S. troops there longer to continue counterterrorism efforts and to train the Afghan National Security Forces.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016. I've decided that instead of going down to a normal embassy presence in Kabul by the end of 2016, we will maintain 5,500 troops at a small number of bases, including at Bagram, Jalalabad in the east, and Kandahar in the south.
The Taliban held Kunduz for 15 days in its first urban takeover since 2001. It's the first fighting season where Afghan forces have largely fought on their own, and it's still unclear whether leaving this number of troops will bring Afghanistan any closer to being able to ensure its own security anytime soon. Nonetheless, the decision got the support of America's NATO allies.
The Afghan security forces continue to carry out their security responsibilities across the country in a very challenging security environment. So it is crucial that we continue to support them practically and financially to preserve the gains we have achieved in Afghanistan through our joint efforts over many years.
The White House draws a distinction between its troop activity in Afghanistan and its troop drawdown in Iraq. There was no government support for a bilateral security agreement to keep a U.S. troop presence there. 3 years after pulling out, American troops have been invited back to Iraq, this time to fight ISIL.
In the Afghan government, we have a serious partner who wants our help, and the majority of the Afghan people share our goals. We have a bilateral security agreement to guide our cooperation. And every single day, Afghan forces are out there fighting and dying to protect their country. They're not looking for us to do it for them.
And of course, all of that U.S. President Barack Obama just said, it couldn't be said under former Afghan President Hamid Karzai, who was frequently at odds with the White House and, of course, refused to sign the bilateral security agreement with the American military. Now U.S. and NATO forces will really have a lot more leeway to continue their train and equip mission with the Afghan National Security Forces. Asiya.
Jessica Stone live for us at the White House. Thank you. Well, when Barack Obama first ran for president, he told Americans what many wanted to hear: elect him, and he would end years of fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq. Now it's becoming clear Obama will leave office with U.S. troops still in both nations.